Hello everyone, this is Autumn. She's agreed to come on our social media channels to talk about the afterlife. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Autumn, what are your thoughts about the afterlife?
I think it's real. I think it's a real thing. I think for me, the afterlife looks more like you're either lost or you're reincarnated.
Lost or reincarnated? What do you mean by lost? You're in hell or?
No, I would say wandering.
Wandering?
Yeah.
Wandering throughout the cosmos?
Just kind of out there.
Okay.
You didn't get the universe's stamp of approval to be reincarnated, I guess.
Okay, so why do we need to be reincarnated?
I don't think it's a need. I guess in my opinion, maybe just a soul that didn't get to finish their journey.
Okay.
Maybe, somebody or something in an entity that didn't get to complete, what they were here for. So the physical being that they embodied has passed on, has moved away. So the spiritual part of them was attached to something else in order to be able to complete that journey.
Okay. So why do we have a journey in the first place? Who determined that we should have a journey?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think everybody's just kind of driven to find a purpose.
Do you believe in God?
In a sort of sense. I wouldn't say in any sort of religious way, but in a sense that there's something out there that kind of guides you in a sense of direction. Not necessarily gives you rules or like governs what exactly you do, but a sense of right or wrong, would you say?
Okay, like a conscience?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, all right. So, do you believe in a hell?
I don't believe there's any negative sense of hell, right? In sort of like a religious sense where hell is like a negative place where you burn for eternity or everything is dreary. Not in that sense, but I mean I would say in the sense of whether your spiritual journey is over or not. I guess you could call it hell if you don't get reincarnated.
Okay, so a guy that rapes and murders women, he kind of gets off scot-free in the grand scheme of things?
I don't think your afterlife is determined of punishment, though. Because I think your spiritual attachment, once that flesh dies that your spirit is attached to, that flesh need for things that we sin for doesn't go along with us. So I don't believe in the afterlife of things. In my opinion, the punishment for flesh and what you've done to accommodate to that flesh, to please that flesh while that spirit was inhabited in it, I don't believe is the determination of whether your spirit goes to heaven or hell.
So the flesh is just the flesh, though, isn't it? I mean, how can a flesh do anything bad without the conscience driving it?
Well,
I mean, my hand doesn't just start waving. I have to tell it,
I mean, I think that's where free will kind of comes in, and that's where your spirit is able to be a part of that flesh. I mean, it can't detach when the flesh wants to do something bad, right? Like if somebody gets in their mind that, okay, I want to do something bad, and it's to please something that is a physical embodiment of pleasure. Okay, so we have multiple things that can release endorphins. If you're touching somebody and it's a good sensation, they're obviously getting something good from it. If you're doing that to please your flesh, I don't feel like in the grand scheme of things, whenever that flesh dies, you take that flesh's sins with you.
Okay. So just the flesh dying is the payment for the bad things someone has done?
I don't know. Where's the need for payment? Where's the need for retribution for what somebody bad has done?
Well, in like a regular sense, in a worldly sense, right? If I go into some store and I shoot up the clerk and I rob and I kill a couple of cops on the way out, is the judge going to tell me, well, you've told me you're not going to do it again, and I love you, so I'm going to let you go.
Well, we're bringing justice into it at that point. And I mean, justice has its own motives besides retribution and, satisfaction.
Well, the judge wouldn't be a righteous judge if he let somebody like that off, would he?
I don't think somebody's religious, standing should be determined by what they do for their job. I mean,
no, I'm not even talking religious at that point.
Yeah, I mean, well, what are we saying in the sense of if the judge let them go?
If the judge, or like a child murderer, if a judge lets a child murderer off, is he a righteous judge?
Righteous in what sense?
Righteous in that he did what he was supposed to do.
I guess that's determined by, the courts. And we put the judge on the pedestal in that righteous sense to make a decision, but they're only a human with flesh and a spirit as well. So
right, but you would kind of question that judge's capacity for right and wrong if he lets off murderers and rapists and child molesters and all this.
I would question what and why. That was a determination. But at the end of the day, when it comes to can you grab this? Sorry. She doesn't do well with other puppies. I didn't want her to get on them.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, you're good. You're good. There you go. Oh, y'all look cute. Here you go.
Have a little dog commercial.
Right, a dog commercial happening. In a sense of I think on a moral grounds, because if I saw somebody do something like that, I wouldn't want that person to be out if they weren't capable of making a correct decision, just on a moral stance.
Sure.
But
well, don't you think that if there is a God, that he would punish evil? If there is a God and he created us and he told us don't murder, and people murder, wouldn't he be an unrighteous God if he let murder slide?
I don't know. I've lived a long life. And
you haven't even begun to live. Let's not talk about that.
It's not my determination. And at the same time, I don't believe in there being that sort of God as far as there being like a punishment, right? For me, it's a guiding. It's just a guiding light. We have free will. We're able to do as we please. We're able to make those decisions. If somebody wants to make the decision to kill, there is obviously a consequence, whether it's the justice system or whether it's that person's family member that comes back to seek their own retribution. So at the end of the day, you have to stand for what you believe in, whether it's right or wrong.
Well, okay, so how do we know that there was a builder of that building?
That there was a what? I'm sorry?
A builder.
A builder?
Yeah. For that building.
How do we know that there was a builder of the building?
Yes.
We don't really. A machine could have built it, right? There doesn't necessarily have to be a builder. There's multiple ways to get to something.
We don't have machines that can build buildings completely yet, right? We know there's a builder because there's a building there, right?
I guess. I don't.
And we know that when there's a painting,
of course.
that there's a painter, right?
Yeah, something created it.
Sure, exactly. And we see the trees, we see dogs, we see us,
it was.
So how do we? Isn't it kind of obvious that there's a creator?
Oh no. I'm completely scientific when it comes to something like that.
Okay, so
in the stance on that, all things are living, right? We talk about even.
Is this rock? Is this cement block living?
Some components of it used to be. When you talk about the things that we use to make things, even though a human had its hand in it, we have a lot of things that naturally are on this planet and were biologically here before we even took our first breath. So to say that somebody had to create something it's almost asinine to me to say that we are so egotistical to think that there was somebody that we have to follow to say that something had to create something.
Okay.
Instead of letting just life be life.
Okay, so let's put it this way. The hat on your head, did that just pop into existence?
No. Some of the materials did.
But I'm
this
just saying, did
specific
somebody
hat on my head, no.
somebody had to make it?
Somebody did
Right.
come up with the design and take that plant that naturally grew in the earth and
Yeah.
processed it and turned it into this hat. Yeah.
Okay, and somebody developed this tripod, same way.
Yeah.
But the amount of, I mean, this has plastic, it has metal, it has foam.
Mhm.
The hat has material, it has a metal clip, it has some cardboard in the bill probably. So like three components,
Uh-huh.
and we believe there's no way there's no way that hat could have popped into existence. There's no way that this tripod could pop into existence. But when we say that that creation, the 137 million light-sensitive cells in your eyes, and the way that our bodies use protein, break them down, use it again, break it down, use it again, break it down, and all this is all completely by chance. How do we get how do we get there? We say there's no way in heaven that this could have popped into existence by itself. The hat could not have popped into existence by itself. But all this immensely more complex stuff around us, our bodies, the dog's body, even the grass, is so much more complex than that could pop into existence.
I don't think popping into existence. I mean, I believe in evolution, you know, and over time with, you know, things changing, elements changing, the way things live, where things have to live, where we get our food, where we get our resources to survive, I think we all changed in order to be able to do that. And those elements, as far as trees, plants, all of these things as well, I think they all had a part in causing the next change in the effect for the thing beside the living thing beside it.
So the odds of everything, because you have to, the whole
my wife is out of her interview, so we gotta stop.
all right.
Sorry.
Well, thanks so much for talking with me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.